Okay, here's what I think. I think that the changes for the Steelers should be made. That other than the fact that that Kevin Colbert needs to go, the offensive line can use a definite change. They can definitely go ahead and make the changes that they need to in the postseason. The Steelers need to do a better chance of making the right choices at the right time. They don't need to go ahead and make the change of going to that direction where they're saying, okay, we don't need to make much changes. But the fact of the matter is that they got to make the changes to be able to go next year to the Super Bowl or to have a playoff spot. For them, the advantage of losing to 4 teams, a possible fifth out of this season, was a total bust for them. They didn't need to lose those games, nor did they need to take the risk. Those games that they lost that needed to be won, and whenever they played the Cleveland game, they should not have had the 8 fumbles that Cleveland needed to win the game. But in my opinion, I think that Kevin Colbert does need to go, and that Mike Tomlin needs to stop worrying about things. I think also that when Ben Roethlisberger makes his plays, he needs his attention to his offensive predecessor. And